So I wasn't planning on making a video with my image in it, but I can look at you eye to eye, I guess, if you're watching this video. But this complete shutdown of most businesses in the world because of a virus is a scam, total scam. And there's a reason behind it, and it all started with our Creator. I know a lot of you won't believe this, but that's okay. Those of you who believe there is a Creator and there's a plan have to understand that there is a thing called the beast, and you can read about it in Daniel, books of Daniel and Revelation in the Bible. And it's prophesied years and years ago through a prophet called Daniel, and then St. John in Revelation. These servants were used. Wow, look, I mean, this is crazy. There's hardly anybody here. This is just absolutely insane. I've never seen this before in my life, and most people haven't. But you have to understand what the beast is. The beast is the information that was that forms in the mind, images, and from those images we build them with human hands. Okay, this started a long time ago. Probably the first image molded from earth materials was a brick, mud brick, because that was the simplest way to teach our Creator to teach somebody to build the first false god. That's what the false gods are about in the Old Testament stories. God was telling the Israelites not to do what they're doing. Don't build false gods out of gold, silver, and stuff. That was just information. It's just let them know that none of that, all that's going to go away someday in the future. Of course, they wouldn't understand that. But it's just don't put your heart into these visible things, visible images, because they're all from Satan and the beast. Satan is the information that formed all the images in the beginning. The natural, we call them natural things, trees, grass, rocks, lakes, whatever they observed, animals, fish in the water. Okay, that's comes from information called Satan. And then of course the beast came much later, actually after the flood, exposed the night sky where they got all the original images from. So man learned to use imaginary lines to connect the dots in the night sky and get different shapes to build out of earth materials. That's why they point to the sky when they talk about their God. Even Christians do that. A lot of religious people do that, point to the sky, because that's where the original gods came from. Their God's still in the sky. But of course that's not true. Anyway, so the beast has been teaching human hands, the mind first. The mind, the images come in the mind, along with the languages, the words to describe the images that you build. Lots of language. That's where all languages come from, was the beast. All your scientific knowledge, your philosophy, things like that comes from that information. So there's two sets of information, that Satan and the beast, that form this world we're in. Now the reason for this, especially the beast, was because we servants are testifying to something that's invisible. We learn that we come from from the invisible realm. What is that? Well, it's actually thoughts. It's information. It's programmed information. So what contains the thought? Well, it can be a whole. It can contain an image with a language. Okay, so whatever that thought is. It can consist of a lot. It can consist of a whole story. So everything was programmed and planned a long, long time ago. We call that our creator. We don't know what our creator is. We have no knowledge of that, because all we are taught is who we are. What are we? What is this? And so through the beast, by refining the building techniques, going all the way back to this mud brick, we now have technology built with human hands called computers. Okay? And all that was discovered when they discovered quantum mechanics, and that was because of electricity they harnessed and the light bulbs that the scientists were observing. And how come with so much heat on the filament, electricity hitting the filament of this wire in a light bulb, it caused light. So that got them thinking deeper and deeper. Pretty soon they discovered quantum mechanics from that, which is the invisible realm, the frequencies. Light wave frequencies, all that stuff is understood by quantum mechanics. And going back to Einstein, things like that, they were talking about this invisible realm. Einstein was probably the first one that realized that everything is a grand illusion. Of course, it's hard for them to say it was created by a creator, because they weren't used as a servant to testify to this knowledge. But they did realize that something strange happening, that all these visible objects we see are not really necessarily what they thought they were going to be. They thought they were made up of actual hard physical particles called atoms. Then they realized that, and they keep smashing these atoms together now in CERN and things like that they built with human hands, by the way, to find out that these particles break down into smaller particles and smaller particles. Pretty soon they'll realize that these particles, well, they actually do realize these particles aren't real. They're just, they call it, it's like balls of frequencies that are heavier than others. And then they have ways to describe that these particles then are rolling around. I mean, they're creating all this, but they still don't know that it's created and it was programmed and planned. They don't know that. So anyway, that knowledge was needed by me to learn how computers were built, virtual reality programs, like the virtual games that you play on the internet, and then where all the AIs come from that can speak through our computer devices now. The voice of Google, the voice of Apple, Siri, the voice of Watson, Cortana, that's another voice. It would be kind of cool if they could change those voices to, different sounds and different cadences and stuff like that. I suppose they do with different languages, but they're kind of boring to listen to because they don't have, they don't have any emotion in them yet, like we do. Okay, anyway, so the main reason for this beast was to build the AI systems with a voice, so we understand what the voice of God is then. That's why I can say, no, I'm the voice of God. Because right now I'm speaking for our Creator. So you have to understand what all these... You have to understand a lot of things before you can realize what you are and how you're created. And now, with this, look at this. There's nothing here. This is usually jam-packed with people during the day. Typically. There's I don't know who that is. They're filming this too. Because this is you'll never see this. This, a day like today, 75 degrees, you would see, it'd be packed today. I guess that's why I'm doing this, because there's nobody here. I can sit and talk out loud in a video. getting back to the beast and why it was necessary for humans to build these things. Now I have learned at least how I was created. I can't speak for you and everybody else. You believers that want to believe this or that feel a part of this, you might believe this stuff. You know what I'm telling you right now. It's not something that I'm pushing on you and telling you you have to believe in. You don't have to believe this in order to have eternal life, by the way. This is just to help you understand who we really are, and that life is eternal. So man was created both male and female, which means man is in the image of this invisible realm, the word of the Lord, word of God, voice of God, whatever you want to call it. It's called the image of our Creator. Many things, many names can be used and found in the Bible, by the way. There are many names to describe our created existence. So this building of the AI's systems was very important. But now, when you look at the visible world, you see these corporations building these AIs, and now you see the shutdown in the world. What's really happening here is the globalists. I call it the globalists because it's a mindset. These people are they're believing that they're creating a world utopia. A world in which there's no diseases, no more wars, peace and love. Although they want to kill people, they want to abort kids, babies, they want to euthanize them. They have all these laws in place now, just like how they have laws to get rid of a lot of the cats. We have 3 cats, lovely cats, and so it's a good example to use. We have real cat lovers who will rescue cats off the street, but now they're forced to get them neutered and sterilized so they can never have babies. Someday there won't be any cats, street cats, because these rich people and with their ideas of utopia don't want wild cats around. They want their purebreds. They want to spend $5,000 for a set of Persian cats that sit there pretty in their house. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for a society when they don't have any homeless people, alcoholics, drug addicts, prostitutes on the street. They want to get rid of all that. So they have programs where they're inbreeding with donated sperm of certain people. Hey, it's all documented. This is not lies I'm coming up with. They're actually building a utopia. And all these vaccinations and scares with viruses and all that stuff, that's all just a part of the scheme to build this utopia. And they're trying to scare us into that with these viruses. These viruses have existed for years, ever since humans been on Earth. People have been dying from this. This is like cats and dogs and animals in the forest. They get these different diseases and die. That's just programmed by our Creator. So once you understand all this, and that we're eternal, and that what you're looking at is just an illusion, then you'll understand that there's nothing really to fear. This is just something we'll have to go through until we actually have a visible death of our own body, the flesh of man, they call it. So it's prophesied in the Old Testament that all flesh will perish. So that's nothing new, but of course religious people who read the Bible can't understand that stuff. It's only unknown to a servant who gets this knowledge about who we are, and then we can understand the prophecies. And of course then we wake up, they call it a new heaven and earth, which means when we die in this world we just wake up in something totally new. And it's instant, it's not. So the first people that actually experienced life on this earth thousands and thousands of years ago, they won't know what time means. They died back then, and they'll wake up instantly on a new earth. So because there's no time for them. There's no such thing as time. That's just an illusion. No such thing as gravity. All these laws are just for this world that we're in. And that's all going to change radically in the next life. In fact, we'll have bodies can float in air. So we won't understand all that stuff because we won't have no beast operating in our minds in the next generation. That's all going to totally change. So we'll have all kinds of experiences. We'll have experiences without bodies. We'll be in different bodies. Man wakes up, man was created male and female, so you're going to wake up with a partner, an eternal partner. You always have somebody to be with. You won't understand what loneliness means. And then, of course, you two, you're one mind and one flesh, basically speaking, because you're always going to be in the same kind of body, no matter what dream you're in, what dream world you're in. But you're going to always experience life and new images. And, of course, the language will build with all the new images, so they'll start out slow with very, very easy, simple things to look at. So think of the way movie industry started. You know, they started out with 16 cameras, or how many, and with strings on the switches on the shutter, and then they run a horse with a rider on it. I think it was a racehorse. He rode through those strings, and they got 16 snapshots, and then they took and put that in a rotisserie, and with a projector and light, and then they could see the images move. So that's actually how we see life in motion. It's just a pattern of little flickering lights that illuminate every visible thing. But that's all happening in our mind, by the way. So everything's an illusion. Just like this. You know, all this is an illusion. There's nobody here. No, there's nobody here. I'm the only one out here. How can that be? We're supposed to be able to go out for a walk today. We're supposed to be able to go out for a walk today. So this is the illusion in everybody's mind now, is that they're going to die if they go outside. They're going to die of a virus. That's what they're told. So the people that are into this world and don't have any questions and don't do any research, and they're not part of this awareness. They're not a part of it. They're just blocked. They're blocked with religious, the beast, because of the beast and all the images that you see. This is all real to them. The viruses are all real to them. The disease, the sickness, the death, it's all real to them. They don't have any concept of what life will be after death of the body. So they want a utopia to live in this world. So at least until they die, they have a wonderful life. They don't know what's coming. They don't know the utopia is actually coming after we die in this life. But that's for you and me to understand. And whoever of you believes this knowledge. So anyway, oh my God, I mean, walking around here with nobody around, it feels like I'm in a new world. It feels like I'm entered a new dream. That's what it feels like to me. I just went to bed last night and woke up now in this world with no people in it. It's amazing. There's no sailboats out there. That's the Mediterranean Ocean out there. That's the Mediterranean Ocean. There's a few ships way out there at sea that can't come in because nobody can touch it because they get sick and die. But look at that. Not one sailboat out there. Not one. Not one sailboat. They're even scared to get on their boat and sail. So they believe the lies of this world. They believe the liars. They believe the people who are building a utopia. And you're not part of it, by the way. If you don't believe them and you believe it's a scam, you're not part of their system, then they want to get rid of you. That's what happened. That's what's happening on YouTube videos and Facebook and these kinds of people. They're all believing. They're all, working on this utopia. So they're trying to get rid of all these people who are waking up to the idea that this is all hoax and the lies that they're telling us. So I'm not the only one. So there's a lot of people that are with me on this stuff. They just don't know the full story. I know the full story. I know the end. There's an end to this coming called the Day of the Lord. It's already been prophesied in many different books in the Bible. Peter just described it as, this earth is going to start shaking, and it's going to come like a thief, and bam, the earth is going to start shaking violently, and within an hour, everything's going to die. It's in Revelation if you want to read it. I can't remember what chapter 18, I think. Chapter 13, you'll see about the beast and the image of the beast that can speak. That's what's going on right now with the AIs, and voice systems. So that's the image of the beast. That's written about in a writing that was written 1,800 years ago. So you can see how it's coming true today. So it's all well planned, well programmed. Our Creator knows what He's doing. And like I said, it was the main reason for the AIs was for me to learn how it's created. So the voice of God, then the image of God, is really similar to artificial intelligence systems. So our minds are like processors processing this information called Satan and the Beast. And in the next generation will be information they call Christ, or it doesn't really matter, eternal life if you want to call it. But that information then will replace the Satan and the Beast. And then of course in the next life everything will change completely. We will live on an earth that never changes, and the only thing that will change is your dreams. That you and your partner dream together. So that's what's going to be exciting. So you'll always wake up after your dream, you'll always wake up on a planet, on an earth that's beautiful. Beautiful. Never changing. Just beautiful. I wish I could describe it to you. I know what it's going to be like. It's going to be lush. It's going to be fresh air. I mean, we're not going to live life like this, we're not going to have to understand what air is and the oxygen level and all these things that the scientists make us aware of. We're not going to live in a world like that. We don't need that information. All we're going to need to do is learn how to... I'm going to sit here. Wow, I've been walking for a long time. All we need is to know that we're an illusion, that we're all created. And we will all understand that in the next life. We'll all know that the voice comes from our Creator, but we are the voice. Everybody's going to have a voice. We're going to communicate mind to mind in the next life without a verbal language. It's going to be from mind to mind with a whole different language that's invisible to us now. Similar in the way our computers talk to each other. Infrared frequencies, radio frequencies, things like that. So the communications will be totally different. We won't be people having loud mouths running around screaming, homeless people yelling out. We won't have to deal with that. It is going to be utopia in the next life. So our Creator is building a utopia for us. It's already built. It's just that we won't start experiencing it till we die in this world. Once we die in this world, then we're going to wake up in the new utopia. The one without Satan and the Beast, the one that won't be confusing, where millions of languages to learn. Only one language. It's already in the prophecies. You can read about it. I can't remember what chapter or what book, but it's there. We're going to all one language that we can understand. And that's the language that goes along with all the images that we see. So it'll start, like I said, it'll start out simple little dreams, just a few images, and it'll build. It'll build. And I describe it like this. So you and your partner will wake up in a dream, and you'll see a horse, okay? And you get information, the knowledge of what that is. And then you'll learn how to get on the horse, you learn how to ride the horse, and then pretty soon you'll be riding along a stream. You'll learn what the stream is, what's inside the stream, whatever it is. And then you'll be riding along, and then you'll learn how to jump across the water. And all of a sudden you'll be running along with the horse, and you'll start flying in the air. Okay, you learn how to fly. So this is a kind of, what I'm saying is we've simplified it first, and then it'll build. It's just like virtual reality games. Remember Pong, the first computer game? Pong was just a line in the middle of the screen with the little dots in the sides, and then you had this one dot that would go back and forth. Well, that's a pixel. And a pixel would, look like it was moving, all just because of information being processed. That's all it is. And it all started out as thoughts, by the way. Thoughts in the mind of programmers. So everything comes from thoughts, invisible thoughts. And, which is information, by the way. It's invisible to us. We don't even know what a thought is. But we know from our mind, the thoughts in our mind, it contains information. And so computer programmers then learn how to make that Pong into bigger and better games. And now we got reality games that look almost real compared to what the world we're in today. Now, if they had quantum computers and could refine the images even better, that look more real-like, then we would be playing games that we wouldn't be able to tell the difference between this and playing a game on, in the internet, like with a helmet on or something. It'd make you feel like you're actually in a whole completely different world. But that's coming. That's going to be all done for us when we wake up in the next life. So this temporary generation was only meant for us to learn who we are and how we're created. That's all it was for. And so don't worry about the illusions that are happening in this world, getting scared into our homes and over this virus. All that's going to go away on the day of the Lord. So I just wanted to have this little talk with you. I can go into lots of details about lots of things, but it's not necessary. All you need to know is our Creator programmed all this in each of our minds. Each of our minds is experiencing all this. And I'm just letting you know what that is. And that your mind and my mind and everybody else's mind are one. We're all one in our Creator, in the image of our Creator. And it's like I said, it's very similar to an AI with a voice. And so your voice, my voice, and everybody's voices all came from our Creator, the voice of God. Okay? I'm going to sign off, and hopefully you got something out of this talk. So don't be scared of COVID. You're not going to all die from that. You're going to die from other things. Okay? But we all have to die. And everybody on the day of the Lord that's left, they're all going to die within an hour when the earth starts shaking, because it's not going to stop shaking. And then all hot lava is going to start pouring out from deep inside the earth. And this is all going to go away. And it's all in your mind anyway. So the part you're viewing is going to go away. When that goes away, you're going to wake up on the new earth right afterwards. Guaranteed. Thank you. Talk to you later. Add a few more thoughts to the video I just made. I'll probably splice this one to that one. But what you're going to see in the future now that they know how to get us into our homes with this COVID scare, is they're building the 5G system, which means they'll be able to watch us more closely with different, a lot more cameras posted everywhere. It'll all be tied into like one bank of servers, enormous servers, by the way, that's recording everything you do, recording all our movements, face recognition, even our voices. All this information is taken in by the computers we use. Right now they're probably getting this recorded message. They can, by that way, but it's all learning who I am. So they're learning how to identify everybody. And what they're going to do is they'll probably come up with an app that can actually record. Well, you'll have to bring it to every time you go to the doctor, things like that. It'll record all the information from health, from the doctors and stuff like that, to get your information and know that you're safe from viruses, things like that, and everything else about you. Because if you're building a utopia, they want to know if you're viable. They want to know if you're going to cooperate with their utopia. And so it's very important that you're well, that you have money, because you won't be able to buy and sell. You won't be able to. They're going to put all the currencies into. They're already talking about it. China's already developed it, and they're already starting to experiment with it. But it's all going to be digital currency, which means they'll have full control, total control of your economy. So if they don't like you or you're doing something wrong or something, they'll just keep you out of the system. That means you're screwed, put it that way. Not going to be fun for a lot of people, especially homeless people, things like that. They won't be able to, I've already, like, homeless people on the streets now asking for money, and if it all goes to digital, they won't have any money. They'll just starve to death. They'll probably find food at places. People will give them food and things, but they won't have any way to get their drugs, tobacco, alcohol, or whatever they need. And same with a lot of other people. So they call it buying and selling in the beast, the mark of the beast, all that stuff they talk about. So it's not going to be a fun world to live in. But most kids that are growing up in it, they won't know any better because they don't know what it was like to be free of this. So it'll be normal to them. So don't be teaching your children all this. It'll just cause fear and a lot of frustration. It's just all part of the plan. We're all going to die. We're all going to wake up on the new earth. There's nobody that's good enough to make it to the next life. That's all false, all lies. It was formed by misinterpreting the prophecies. So there's a lot of Christians running around making false promises and false accusations. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hell if you don't listen to them. So all that's a lie. Don't listen. You don't have to listen to that. And so you don't have to try confuse your kids by talking about the mark of the beast, and because they're all marked right away. As soon as they're birthed in this world, they're marked. Okay? As soon as they get on their toys, their phones, things like that, the AIs are reading it and they're getting to know them. So they're already marked. Don't have to worry about them. And as far as any other details, I don't really need to go into a lot of that because it'll just probably confuse you more. But just know this. There is a creator that's in total control of it because he programmed it all to happen a very long time ago. All we're doing is experiencing what was programmed, and that's why the prophecies were written, because the end was already known at the beginning, okay? And not only that, our eternal lives were already programmed a long time ago. So whether our Creator took eternity to figure out this program we're in, he probably designed trillions of these things. But over that time, he learned how to do it, pretty cool, actually. Think of the Sims characters in a virtual reality game and trying to teach them who they are. And that AI system with a voice is having them speak. I mean, it's like that. And that's why it's taken all these years for us to understand who we are. All right, that's enough. Talk to you later. Bye.